Sushi donut. Hello and welcome to the final course, where I try and recreate unusual recipes sent in by the public. Today I'm going to make sushi donuts. I did source a recipe from the internet and I'm going to post that below in the About section of this video as usual, so give that a look. What makes a sushi donut a donut? The shape. That's it. It is sushi in the shape of a donut. So I have a donut pan and I have prepared my rice. The only thing that you really have to cook in this recipe is the rice. So now that that's done, I'm going to show you how to slice some vegetables. We're going to put together the sushi donut, and just for funsies, I am going to fry one in tempura, so I'll be showing you how to make a tempura batter as well. Let's do it. Okay, I'm going to try a different angle this time. I think the way my kitchen is set up, this is going to be the best way for me to do this. I put 1.5 cups of sushi rice into a medium saucepan with 2 cups of water. I brought that to a boil and then I reduced it to a simmer and covered for 20 minutes. After the rice was done, I put in 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar. I let that cool, and here we are. I also have this sushi grade ahi tuna steak I got at Central Market. I was hoping to get sushi grade salmon because that's more my style, but this is what I have, so that's what we're going to use. I have an avocado. I have black and white sesame seeds. I have sesame oil for, I'm going to grease the pan with this first because I don't want the rice to stick. And then I have cucumber and I have radish. I also have some chives and some seaweed. I also found this at Central Market, so if you're local. This is the pan that I'm going to be using. After more research, I kind of wish that I would have bought a silicone pan. It seems that it is easier after you get everything inside to fold around and take the donut out rather than having to flip it. So there is room for fail on this one still, even though it is a simple recipe. Thus, why I'm going to use my sesame oil to coat the pan before I put everything inside. I just want to make sure, even though that this is non-stick, that they're going to come out. I'm going to go ahead and start with the cucumber. I have half of an English cucumber here. I don't need the whole cucumber, so I went ahead and cut it in half and then cut one end off. It is recommended that you use a mandolin when you're doing this. You need very thin strips, but I don't own a mandolin and I'm a professional, so I'm going to use my super sharp shun knife here. But if you don't feel comfortable, I would recommend getting one of those, even though as someone who uses sharp knives, I fear mandolins. Anyway, so let's go ahead and cut this cucumber into small strips. When you're cutting round things, it's best to cut off one portion and then lay it flat. That way it doesn't move. So I'm just going to go ahead and start that way. And I'm going to start at one end. And I'm just going to cut into very small strips. You can see they're very thin. Here, let me show you this way. You can almost see through them, so they're pretty thin, and that's good because you want it to wrap around. The donuts are going to be small though, so I'm going to take these and I'm going to cut them in half again. Okay. And then we'll do our radishes the same. Best to do with mandolin if you have one. Mandolins come with finger guards too, usually. Most of the places I've worked have lost their finger guards, which is why I don't like using them. So. Avocado. Everybody loves avocados, right? Not everybody loves cutting avocados. So this is how I do it. I'll just show you how to cut an avocado very quickly. Half. This is a big boy too, so. Make sure you get rid of that pesky stem at the top. That could break somebody's teeth. So I'm not going to slice it first. I'm going to use my spoon and go around first and remove the avocado from its skin first before I cut it. I'm going to flip it over like this. The donuts are kind of small, so I'm going to cut it this way. And then just again, very thin slices. So again, very small. Okay, we're gonna slice a few chives. These are just gonna be a garnish on the top. So this is the same. Everything just needs to be very thin. I'm gonna go ahead and start at an angle. Alright, so we're getting thin pieces. I'm not going to need much for this. Like I said, I'm only making 6, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this back up and save it for something else. Alright, now we just assemble. So I'm just going to take one of each of my items, I'm going to put them on the bottom of the pan, and then I'm going to smush the rice on top. And that seems like it's it. Leaving one free because I actually want to try and fry one of these things like a donut. I am going to make tempura batter and we're going to fry one and see if it actually turns into a frickin' donut. So I'll start with that one. I'm going to fill it up halfway. I have some whipped cream cheese in a piping bag here, and I'm just going to fill it up with that and maybe some avocado. We'll see what happens. I coated my hands in a little bit of oil so that pushing this down wouldn't be as messy as it was getting it in. So this is what I have. The recipe says to put these in the fridge for at least 5 minutes, but I'm going to let them go a little bit longer, probably about 15 minutes, just to be safe. While I'm waiting for that, I'm going to go ahead and make a tempura batter because I'm going to try and fry this bad boy. For my tempura batter, I'm going to need 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 1 egg, and about a cup of Pellegrino. This just gives it a little bit more of a bubbly Alright, let's see if this was a fail or a success. I'm going to try and turn these guys out onto a piece of parchment paper that I'm using as a barrier for when I put these on the seaweed. They're really, really sticky, so I just want to make sure that they don't stick to anything but the seaweed, so we'll see. Alright, let's flip them. Alright, so I was successful at sushi donuts. The last thing to do is put them on their seaweed and plate them up. I do have some oil going back here. I'm going to try and fry that one up like I said, and we'll see how that goes. Other than that, that's it. Oh yeah. Look at that. A sushi donut. I'm gonna toss it in some sesame seeds, I think. Fresh out. Ooh. See if they stick. Nope. That's alright. I'll just sprinkle them on top. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. A freaking sushi donut. If you have any challenges that you think that I might fail or be successful at, please email me at challengesarahR@gmail.com, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys soon.